Former President Donald Trump filing a lawsuit against New York Attorney General Letitia James. Trump says she is abusing her position to wage a war of intimidation and harassment against him. This lawsuit just filed yesterday in Palm Beach County, Florida, accusing the AG of breaking the law in Florida and New York for her investigations into Trump's business dealings. James is suing Trump, his sons, Eric and Don Jr., as well as his daughter Ivanka and the Trump Organization for $250 million in a civil lawsuit. She claims there is fraud in the family's real estate business. And is Trump teasing a 2024 run? Number 45 returning to Iowa tonight. As we told you, he'll be holding a big rally with Governor Kim Reynolds and Senator Chuck Grassley there. The event expected to boost Republicans ahead of the midterms. Logan Raddick told us how many people, even in the rain, are lining up to get a glimpse of President Trump this evening, as they always do. Well, let's bring in former Congressman from California, Devin Nunes, and the CEO of Trump Media and Technology Group, Devin Nunes. Devin, great to have you in with me today, sir.
Bianca, great to be with you.
I got to ask you about Letitia James and this lawsuit. I know that she campaigned against going after Trump, and it seems like it has been a witch hunt for him for years. What do you make of this latest move, and are you glad he filed this lawsuit against her?
Look, I think there's a lot on the line for the future of this country if you're going to allow the weaponization of our justice system. And so we already have seen, and I dealt with the Russia hoax, the Ukraine impeachment hoax, all the things that Donald Trump had to deal with. And then you see the treatment of Hunter Biden, the Hunter Biden laptop story, et cetera. This is actually something very, very new that I don't think a lot of people thought that they would see. And that is that you have a state attorney general campaign, as you said, Bianca, and then move forward for 4 years. She couldn't get a grand jury in the state of New York to come up with any criminal charges. So she then brings a civil charge, so you have someone campaigning, can't get anything criminally, goes through all the books, and then comes up with something under the civil code in the state of New York when Donald Trump is a citizen of Florida. I think should have us all scared to death that this type of activity is occurring in the United States of America. And I was listening to you and Dave Rubin before, and as you know, I'm a Californian, also now spend a lot of my time in Florida, like you and like Dave Rubin. Mm-hmm. These are the types of things that will go from New York, will spread to places like California and the rest of these blue states, to where a place like Florida is kind of that last bastion of freedom. And I think that's what President Trump is doing here. As a Florida resident, will the state of Florida and that justice system step up to put a stop to this madness? And
like you said, it's been years, the money that the taxpayers of New York have spent for this, because she's supposed to be the attorney general for the entire state of New York, but it does seem the focus has been Trump. It's wild, Devin. Also, there was another win this week, I think, for Trump. Chief Justice John Roberts agreed to temporarily put a hold on the release of Trump's tax returns. They had been, set to be turned over to the White House later this week. Why do they want these? Many say they just want to smear Trump. This is just never ending for our former president.
Yeah, this has become, kind of a kabuki dance that's gone on now for 5 years, when President Trump said that, look, I'm not going to give Congress, I'm not going to play games with the fake news media. You guys already make up enough stuff. I am not about to put this out there because and clearly, look, I understand, especially watching what's happened the last 5 years, there is nothing that they won't do to smear President Trump. I mean, look, we know that here at True Social. There's not a day that goes by that we don't deal with almost total and complete fake news. And I mean, look, even we're being targeted. We're a company here. We're the fastest growing social media company in history, Bianca. We have been waiting for the SEC to approve our merger so that we can merge and become a public company so that we can get our financing.
Right.
Yet the Biden administration is stopping it. I mean, these are the types of things. So why in the hell would anybody give up their tax returns? And why do they need to see Trump's tax returns? It's just ridiculous. It's just going to be another witch hunt.
Yeah, and well, I'm glad you're on the Google Play Store, at least. They did finally do right by you there. Big tech is not normally doing right by a lot of folks, a lot of collusion. But we do want to talk to you about some positive things that are happening. There's a lot of people out there excited for the next few days. Trump is very busy with rallies. I'll be covering the one that he's holding in Pennsylvania on Saturday, which we will cover in its entirety here on Newsmax. We're also going to have more on the one on Sunday. But tell us about how he's feeling and going into sort of, this is where he shines, with the people, getting the energy from the crowds, Devin?
Yeah, we've never seen anything like this in modern political history, especially in the day of social media and kind of the diversion of multiple platforms where people get their information from, whether it's Newsmax or some of the other companies out there. This didn't exist even 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And what is, I think, lost on people is that President Trump never stopped fighting, right? I mean, that's why, when he called me and asked me to come and run Truth Social, I was still in Congress. It was all about the fight. We're here to open up the internet. And President Trump has never stopped since he left office. He went out recruiting candidates that he thought would put America first and promote what he believes, and I think what a lot of Americans believe would be the best path for America. And so he is revolutionizing the Republican Party in this country. And if you look at it, if you look where we were 2 or 3 months ago, you had the fake news and even never Trump Republicans and all the Democrats saying, oh, look at all these horrible Trump candidates. My God, they're the worst candidates that we've ever seen, blah, 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 blah. Guess what? Nearly all of President Trump's candidates are going to win. And I actually said this last week on Newsmax, Bianca, when they were saying, oh, maybe the Republicans will gain the Senate. And I said, look, I think there's a lot better chance, and I'll put money on it. It's more likely that the Republicans have 54 seats in the Senate versus 50 seats in the Senate. So President Trump is campaigning, barnstorming all across the country to bring these races home and try to put a stop to this madness that we see just last night in Washington, D.C. with another wild speech from Union Station.
I know we don't have time to get into that. Real quick, if he's offered to get back on Twitter, Devin, do you think he would take that?
No, there's no reason to, because Truth Social is the fastest growing, and he's already said he wouldn't. And
it stays that way.
I mean, and why would he jeopardize the future of some commission that Elon Musk is going to put together that just one day they just decide, well, we're just going to go ahead and kick off Donald Trump today? I mean, it's just crazy for him to even put himself in that position, especially because Truth Social is now so widely available.
Yes, it is. Doing fantastic, and we're glad to hear it. As always, good to see you, Devin Nunes. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
See you soon.